Hi, I'm Harrison Wyatt, and in today's video I'm going to be making some feather sticks. Having been making some other tools out of some wood, we've got some small thin cutaways that we've been making just as we've been using things like the bill hook, and we're going to utilize these to make some feather sticks so that we can be using those for our fire lighting in future sessions. I've got my glove for my non-tool hand and my sheath knife. Now, as always, I'm sat in a nice stable position. I want to be working outside of my blood triangle, so my knees to my groin, and I do that by resting my elbows on my knees and working away from my body. So just looking with all these, I'm just going to grab a piece just here, pressing the button on my sheath, setting that off to the one side. For creating a feather stick, it's a really great skill to teach in a session because it basically develops hand-eye coordination, but also general knife skill using a mixture of whittling sort of knife movements to create a very delicate and gentle cut. I'm going to be placing my piece of wood with an angle facing up towards me, and I'm going to gently glide the knife down. What I want to do is create a nice curl as fine as I can, and effectively I won't even necessarily get a curl every time. That means that I'm working nice and gently. Now, adjusting my grip here, I can see that an angle is starting to appear. I want a nice smooth edge to work on, but I'm going to be angling the piece of wood back and forth, so I'm always working down an angled corner of the wood so that I can pick up that piece of wood and create that curl. As I get to the bottom here, what quite often happens is people will lose control and they'll cut away the feathers that they're creating. So what I might do with my first initial cut is I will create a groove, but as I get close, I'm going to actually rev the knife, and what that will do is create some stop that I can work up to. So with the first few feathers, again, I'm just really gently just trying to find that angle, there we go, to work with. And the finer these are, the more likely it is that they're going to be able to take that lighting. Now, anything that is cut but does fall away, don't worry, because you can still use it. You can collect that up, put it into a small pouch or a pack, and it's still really, really valuable for all that fire lighting. So again, I'm just going to work, and what you'll find is by sliding the blade back and forth, you find that angle, and after a few cuts, you might find that it's no longer making feathers because you've smoothened out that surface. So again, that's where your gloved hand comes into play, and you've now got a brand new angle to work down. There we go. So that's just smoothing it out there. Again, I can rev it away so I don't lose all those nice feathers. Another thing to notice is the sort of tilt of my blade. Should I point the blade up, that curl is going to work off to one side towards the end of the blade. And if I was to point the end of the blade down, that curl is going to work towards my hand. So again, I can try and make that bundle of nice fine curls as I'm working back and forth. And again, this comes with practice. We've got loads of little bits of wood to work to go at here, and again, just working back and forth, taking your time, not working too fast. Finding the angle is exactly what you want. And again, we can go through here, and I can continue to work through this piece of wood effectively until I get down to matchstick thin on that side. I can snap it away even, and then I've got a nice feather stick that I've got plenty of these little flicks of kindling that is really, really easy to light. I've got all these like tinders here and stuff as well. I'm going to work through. Again, always finding that angle. Having the stick resting at its end on the piece of wood, really, really helpful to make sure you're nice and stable. Another technique that some people do use is stabbing the knife into the wood and then actually sliding the stick along the blade. Again, making sure that my cutting edge is away from me and I'm gently pulling that stick towards my body. So you can see there, I'm creating these nice fine feathers. Obviously, this is a task that does take a little bit of time, but it's lovely. Sit and enjoy it, and yeah, get practicing.